What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and welcome to episode 14 of All Hail the King. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at different Rocket Raccoon team-ups. Some of these teams have been previously mentioned, and some of them may be brand new to you. Now, if you happen to miss the podcast segment and discussion on Rocket Raccoon, make sure to visit www.thehelicarrier.com. There you can find past podcasts, articles, and more on the game you know and love. I'll also place a link to the corresponding podcasts in the description below. So what are you waiting on? Go on and check it out. Now for our first team up, we're using Rocket Raccoon and Taskmaster. Taskmaster is certainly a formidable character, and he's definitely capable of follow-up attacks. Unfortunately for our blaster Rocket, we're facing a full team of tacticians. That's why I made sure to reload and store up some ammo cells for a future attack. Then on my agent's turn, I'm going to start by using the Neurotrope. After this quick action, I'm going to use the Elixir of Recovery also as a quick action. Even though the Asgardian Tanker doesn't greatly benefit this team, it's really hard to pass up using. That is, when it's used in conjunction with the Tactician Empowered Armor and the Quick Empowered ISO 8. This not only removes debuffs on our agent, it allows 2 quick attacks at the beginning of the battle. Then we're going to use these 2 attacks to try to finish Magneto before he gets a turn. Our best bet, of course, was to use the Warbringer Axe, which at least does ignore defense. That's great because we cannot crit due to magnetized or polarized. That's probably going to make this one pretty close, but we are able to do enough damage. On Taskmaster's turn, we're going to use Trick Shot, which has a 50% chance of performing a follow-up attack. This effect can also trigger multiple times in a row. What ends up happening with this team-up is we keep firing Trick Shot, and then once the procs are done, Rocket Raccoon will fire Blam for each follow-up attack. When you add in the radiation exposure from the ionizing augmented ISO 8, you really end up with some incredible damage. In fact, due to these 2 playing off of each other, we finish War Machine before he gets to attack as well. So that's 2 enemies down already, and we have Kerplowy. At this point in the match, I think it's worth giving him an extra turn, just to see this awesome ability in action. Plus it does pretty good damage. Unfortunately, the enemy agent is going to take this opportunity to use some very annoying quick actions. He casts the Light Fantastic and Psychic Amplifier. But at least he does attack Taskmaster, who gains photographic reflexes and tactical insight. Plus we get a counterattack with Trick Shot because of the Neurotrope. In this case it's kind of funny because we end up healing him for all those attacks. At least Mirror Reality is gone, and we put some debuffs on the agent. Then with our extra turn, we get to use Tactician Training on Rocket Raccoon. That means both of these characters now get an extra attack when they perform a single target attack. Our first Trick Shot only fired once, so we'll go ahead and fire it one more time. And at this point we finish the enemy agent and the match. So now moving on to our second battle and our second team up, we're going to use the original follow-up archer, Hawkeye. In another interesting twist, we actually get to go first before Quicksilver. That's because of Hawkeye's Empowered ISO 8. So why not, let's go ahead and attack Quicksilver. But first we had to use Pinpoint Target. Hawkeye also has a 50% chance to gain a follow-up attack, but the target has to have Pinpoint Target. I would have fired the Trick Arrow first, but they do have the Mystic, so it didn't have a chance to stun. Also, because of this fact, using Pinpoint Target was actually a mistake. It was pretty much wasted. The enemy Quicksilver then goes right after Rocket, and we're hoping that he can survive. The video is, after all, mainly about him. After dodging a blast from the past, we managed to do almost 20k with a Murdered You. Now let's go ahead and reload and get 3 more ammo cell. While their agent goes, I want to say one benefit that our Hawkeye has, other than going first, that Taskmaster does not. Hawkeye can be a tactician, and this means that our Asgardian Tankard is also going to give him a turn. So first I use the Neurotrope, and then it's going to be time for the Elixir of Recovery. This will remove that disoriented debuff and allow us to attack Juggernaut. This is crucial because we cannot let him use the Surge of Sidorak and get off a big attack. Let's see how much this Warbringer can do. We take him down to 4,481 HP. At this point we could attack him again, but instead I'm going to use the Blackest Void. This will take off Mystic Shroud and disorient the enemies, and then we can use a volley to help finish Juggernaut. This happens to be an Adamantium volley, which has Fatal Blow. Then on Hawkeye's normal turn, we can use Pinpoint Target on the enemy agent. This time, since they no longer have Mystic Shroud, we can fire the Trick Shot and try to stun him. Plus we have that 50% chance at a follow-up attack. I'm hoping we can keep those going, and then Rocket will start his Blam session. In this case we only got one, but we do quite a bit of damage. And it looks like Quicksilver is going to finish the agent off for us. Now all we need is one more solid hit on Quicksilver, and that's going to be the end of this match. Let's try our second ability, Murdered You, once again. And this time it's going to do 16k, but we also get an 8k collateral damage. So far Rocket's doing quite well in PvP, and he's viable with a number of different heroes. But I'm not saying he's going to give you your best chance to win, or he's going to be your highest win percentage. I'm just saying he can be used in PvP. He's a lot of fun, and he is capable of winning. However, being matched against triple tactician teams certainly isn't making it easy. I will say this, if my assumptions are correct, this could be a pretty good team up. My thought was, whenever Combo Breaker activates, Rocket should follow up with a Blam. Also, if this does work out, it could annihilate Psylocke and Quicksilver teams. Hopefully we'll get to see if I'm right really soon. Now unfortunately we do miss their agent with the Warbringer Axe, but Combo Breaker does some huge damage, and Blam does activate off of it. That's pretty epic, and I'm definitely happy that it worked out. Now hopefully we can land this attack and take out their agent before his turn. That eliminates the threat of the Asgardian tankard. Next, with her Iron Fist, I'm contemplating whether or not I can one-shot one of these characters. If I use the Heart of the Shao-Lao, then I can try to use 5 Fingers of Death and KO a character with Fatal Blow. After gauging my normal damage, it looks like we're going to be able to deliver on that one hit. So just like that, the Master of Magnetism is knocked out. This is going to allow us to use Kerplowy one last time with Rocket, even though this time the damage looks like it's going to be pretty low. Minimal damage, and we give Fandral an extra turn, but it was totally worth it. We also managed a Blam counterattack, and then we're going to go ahead and reload. On Fandral's normal turn, he's going to use Flinting Circus, and that hits our entire team, except for my agent. It really doesn't matter because we're going to use the Light Fantastic as a quick action on the very next turn. Then instead of ending it with my agent, I'm going to use the Blackest Void. Next on Heroic Age Iron Fist's turn, I'm going to use Healing Chi on Rocket. This will get him back to full health, and then we'll see if he can manage to finish Fandral by himself. Although I'm not quite sure that he can. And it does look like he's going to come up short with a Murdered You attack. In fact, due to Witty Retort, he's actually going to miss this attack entirely. But Combo Breaker does kick in, and this causes a Blam. So we ended up with a pretty great finish to the video after all. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, good luck, and take care.